You are listening to the Retina UK National Peer Support Group meeting recorded Thursday, 29th June 2023.
Good evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to our Summer National Peer Support Group meeting from Retina UK. My name is Mark Baxter. I'm the Information and Support Coordinator. I really do appreciate you all joining us this evening. It's going to be a wonderful talk from the founder of AbleNet. It is an experienced organisation, and Paul will talk about why he set the company up and some of the experiences and products that you may be able to try out. So with further ado, I'm just going to pass you over to Paul now, and he's going to talk about his company, AbleNet.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you everybody for inviting me over to the meeting. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about me and about AbleNet, and hopefully it'll help. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis about when I was 35 years old. Other than the odd relapse every year, nothing really changed in my life. I was active, went places, great experiences, and continued to make great memories. And then 5 years ago, or 5 years later, sorry, I started to become a bit more draggy in my leg, more challenging, walking with a stick. And I did really what every self-respecting person would do, and just buried my head in their sand and just ignored it. Didn't go anywhere and just stopped, basically. I was really worried about being in a wheelchair and succumbing to the obvious. After about a year of pretending to my children and family that I was okay and going nowhere, I promised I would go and see my eldest daughter's school science project, which was part of a display at Liverpool Arena. My plans were parking right at the door, hobbling in on crutches and sitting down right outside where she was doing the presentation. It didn't really go that way, to be honest. There was no car parking outside. I had to go and park on a multi-storey car park and just hobble my way in quite slowly. Eventually got to a school display and then stopped. Couldn't move anywhere, just too tired. Then my daughter did a presentation with all her friends around, and then the show finished, or the experience finished, or the event finished. So we all left, and she actually waited for me, and so did her friends, which was very nice. And I hobbled slowly but surely out, and her friend just had to keep stopping for me. It's quite embarrassing, really. Not for me, because I wasn't really embarrassed by it, but I was embarrassed for her, having to wait for me whilst I slowly and surely got to the car. And then I promised as soon as I got to the car that really I'm going to accept the fact that I need a wheelchair and that's going to enable me to carry on life, and really decided things have got to change from that point onwards. And I did feel properly embarrassed for her, really. I'm sure she wasn't embarrassed in the slightest. In fact, I know she wasn't. We've had the conversation again. And she wasn't embarrassed, but I certainly was for her. So eventually my wheelchair arrived. I took the kids away for a weekend to Edinburgh and started life again, really. Just started getting out and about, traveling. But I'm quite a capable user of a computer. I'm rubbish with this technology stuff, but a computer I can use. And whenever I search for anything to do with going out, having fun, doing things whilst disabled, all I really saw on Google searches and Bing searches was, driving a supercar or jumping out of a plane or things like that. And really the first possible available things that you could do in a wheelchair were go to a museum or go to a park or do something really boring like that. And there was really no national company for people with disabilities or visual impairments like Virgin Experience Days or Buy a Gift that did anything for wheelchairs. So I phoned the companies. I phoned Virgin and I phoned Buy a Gift and said, hi, I'm Paul, wheelchair user. What do you do for people with disabilities and visual impairments? And a bit of the people on the phone, and basically said they offer nothing. I didn't know why they offered nothing. They couldn't help me. They couldn't point me to anything else around that I could do, but really they just said, sorry, can't help you. Now, I'm quite stubborn, and really, I'm not a big fan of people telling me I can't do anything when there's no reason for them to say I can't do it. And as you probably know, there's 14 million people in the UK with a disability or visual impairment. And the world's changing. The world is absolutely changing. Sorry about the caller. And it's about time that we really, I thought it was about time things needed to change. And so I decided the first thing I'm going to do is create a company that does things, that allows people to do things, that allow people with disabilities and visual impairments to do something. I want to create a national hub for people to be able to do stuff. And so I thought the first thing I'm going to do is supercar driving, because that was the one that really all the experienced companies seemed to be selling was supercar drives. And I thought, after all, there's no reason why a supercar company won't allow me to drive their cars, or won't allow people with visual impairments to drive their cars. So I thought, right, which way do I go? So there's 4 companies in the UK that own supercars that they allow people to drive. And my first call to them was something like, hi, I'm Paul. I'm from a brand new company called AbleNet.co.uk. I want to offer supercar drives through AbleNet, much like you do through Virgin and Buy a Gift. But the difference is most of the people that are driving your £150,000 supercar around a racetrack will be either disabled disabled mentally or physically, will be visually impaired, or all 3. And every time I said that to them, they said, no, thanks very much, but we're not going to help you. So I put my pen down and thought, right, we'll have another think about this. We'll see what happens. And then, as luck had it, that weekend we were going to a music festival called Rewind. That was up Rewind North near us. And I went with my partner, Andrea, and a few drinks in on the Saturday, I started chatting to a guy who was a supercar driving instructor. So he worked for one of these companies driving supercars. We had a good chat, quite a long chat, a few drinks, and he said, it seems a great idea what you want to do, and there's no reason why they can't do it. Now, there's a few things you need to know about me. First of all, I've got a terrible memory. I have got a proper bad memory, which didn't help. There are over 1,000, also there's over 1,000 instructors in the company. When I came away from the festival, I lost his card, forgot his name. But what I did remember was I didn't even know who he worked for, but I remembered roughly what he looked like, where he lived approximately, and roughly how old he was. So armed with that little information, I started to phone the supercar companies again, trying to find out which one Tim, or whatever his name was, worked for, and then I could start the conversation with him and go from there. Several days later, that hadn't worked, so I called again to speak to whoever oversaw the instructors, and thought, I know, if I can chat to who oversees them, maybe he's talked about Rewind North, etc., etc. But the first company I phoned said they had no idea who Tim was or anyone who looked like him. So I phoned the second company, and my second piece of luck was one of the directors for that company picked up the phone as he was walking past and answered. Now, Phil, who's the director there, the previous day had somebody visually impaired on the track next to him who went with one of their family members, and he was gutted. Phil was gutted he couldn't do anything for them, and so it was about the right time that he was thinking about doing something for people with disabilities and visual impairments. So I went down and saw him. I had a good chat, talked about the adaptions we'd need, the things that we would need. So we'd need things like a track to ourselves. We can't be having 15 or 20 people driving around the racetrack at the same time. These tracks are about 1.5 miles long, and we need plenty of runoff, and we need at most 2 cars on the track. I mean, if you've got somebody with a disability that's never driven a supercar before, the last thing you want to be doing is driving anywhere near them. And anyone with a visual impairment, you don't want the pressures of being around other cars. You want the space and the time to be able to enjoy the experience. So we sat down, and so we agreed that that's how it would work, and that's what we'd do. So we created Supercar drive days. Now, AbleNet is the only company in the country that does Supercar drive days. We've signed up all 4 Supercar companies now, so they all deal with us. We also do Supercar passenger rides as well. We do other experiences, which I'll chat in a bit. But the concern that most people have, certainly with a visual impairment, is that the DVLA very quickly say to you, you can't drive a car. It's fairly simple, and to them, you've either got a visual impairment or not. And if you're disabled like I am, or at any level of disability, there's certain adaptations that they can do to the cars, and that the DVLA will allow them to still drive. And so what we really do, and what we're very keen on, what I'm at AbleNet, certainly with the supercars, is to make sure, however your impairment is, whether you're sort of partially disabled, whether you have tunnel vision, whether you're completely blind, it's immaterial. We've got supercars, we've got an instructor right next to you, you've got 1.5 miles worth of track, and the instructor's got a brake, and that works. It does the job. And I still smile. A gentleman called Mike, who I know because I've got his photo, when he jumped out of a Lamborghini, his instructor said he was doing 107 miles an hour. And when he got out of the Lamborghini, his wife brought his guide dog to him, which is quite an amazing picture to me, and realised that we're doing something correct when that sort of happens. When we can give people dreams, fill his dreams. And Mike's been back to us on every day we're doing this year. And they're supercars. They're not kit cars. They're not made up. They're proper Lamborghini, Ferrari, Aston Martin. And they corner like you wouldn't believe. They go fast. All cars go fast in a straight line, but these things can properly drive. And once we brought the first supercar company on board, the others quite quickly followed. We also do things like, if you've ever fancied jumping out of an airplane, we do indoor skydiving. So AbleNet has the choice of indoor skydiving, where we have 2 instructors with you, or we can now do outdoor skydiving. And again, we're the only company where you can come to on a national basis with the visual impairment, and we can get you skydiving. We can strap you to a skydiver, tandem jump, and you can throw yourself out of a plane, so should you wish. If that's not interesting, we do skiing. We do indoor skiing up and down the country, with various indoor slopes. If you've got any of those indoor slopes near you, then we do skiing there. Visually impaired skiing, disabled skiing, all sorts of skiing. We also, if you want to go journey up to Aviemore in Scotland, we do snow skiing outside. And as Mark's going to tell you in a little while, we do flying lessons. So again, with visual impairments, flying lessons aren't a problem. And we've had Nigel, one of our ambassadors, he's visually impaired, and he did the full takeoff and landing. The guys that, all instructors, whatever it may be, all instructors that we deal with are really keen to ensure that our customers have an amazing time. Because I think once you get over the hurdle with the companies, what I found, once you get over that little hurdle of we can't, we don't want to, we're scared, or it's going to cost us a fortune to do anything. Once you get over that, then the companies are proper behind us. We have nothing but praise from all the companies we deal with, and all the customers, and all the feedback. If you get a chance to see our feedback on the website, then it's proper amazing. We also do Merlin Entertainment, so the people that own Alton Towers. We do the Bear Grylls Adventure over in Birmingham. So if climbing high ropes, we can do climbing high ropes with a visual impairment is your thing. Shark diving, if you want to dive with a shark, I have no idea why, but again, if that's your thing, we can do that. And if you have a look at our website at ablenet.co.uk, or even go online and follow us on Facebook at AbleNet UK, then we will try and keep it all up to date. We're not the best at keeping things up to date on Facebook, etc. So what happened next? So after several years of AbleNet, or adding experiences, I, funnily enough, get a call from Virgin Experience Days. Their marketing manager called me, and the call went something like, "Hi, Paul, we've seen what you're doing. It's amazing what you do. We don't really have the facility or the ability to do these. and would you become our disability and visually impaired partner? And obviously we said yes. I said yes, we'd more than do that. So now Virgin Experience Days, they bring customers to us, which closely was followed by Buy a Gift, which closely was followed by Track Days, Red Letter Days, and all of them have come back to us. So if you search Google blind supercar drives, the first 5 companies on there all pay for their position, and every single one of their experiences is an AbleNet experience. They all come to us. So we must be doing something right. So really, it'd be great to see you on board. Great to see you following us. If you've got any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. What I'll do at the end of this, I'll send Mark if anyone does fancy a supercar drive, then I'll send Mark a link after this with a discount code that you'll be able to get a discount from us on any of the supercar drives that we do up and down. Thank you.
That was absolutely fantastic and so inspiring, and thank you so much for offering a discount code that will be sent to everybody that has registered. We will send out a follow-up email after this meeting in a couple of days' time with the audio recording and also any information that Paul has kindly provided to us, links on how you can get involved, links to their Facebook, Twitter, and also the voucher code, should that be something that you would like to have a go at. Paul mentioned the flying experience. Now, if you don't mind, I just want to say a little bit about my personal experience. I've always wanted to fly. I had the opportunity when I was 9 years old to sit in the cockpit of a Boeing 747 on the way holiday to Australia. Unfortunately, because of security, those days have now been and gone. So that is a memory that will always live with me. The controls, the dials, everything. It was lit up like a Christmas tree. I had the vision that I unfortunately don't have today. I've always wanted to fly, and unfortunately, my RP diagnosed shortly after that. And I knew that I would never be able to drive a car at the age of 17, let alone fly my own plane. That didn't stop me from going up in planes. I wasn't up in the planes for very long before, like Paul said, I threw myself out of them, strapped to an instructor. I did my first skydive at 17, did my fourth skydive a couple of years ago, and I'm hoping to plan my 5th skydive this October. And after that, I went up in a plane again, but again, I wasn't inside the plane. I was strapped to the wing of it, and at 125 miles an hour at 500 feet, I was flying around on a wing walk. And again, another fantastic experience that will live with me forever. But I thought to myself, would I ever get by a plane? And for my 40th birthday, my family bought me a flying experience, and it happened to be through AbleNet in the association of Airability, which are based at Blackbush Airport. And I never knew about AbleNet before then, and Paul and I started talking, and we thought that that would be an amazing experience for everyone that is living with a sight loss condition and a part of our community, to share that with everyone, because we didn't know whether you guys knew of AbleNet and the experiences they can offer. So in April of this year, I took to the skies. Like Paul said, he knew someone that took off. I actually guided, with a little bit of help of my instructor, Steve, to the runway via the pedals. I took off. He explained to me all the dials, how to steer the plane, how to take off, what speed, and he kind of just, everything was beautifully audio described. I couldn't imagine it being described any better. He kind of run up the speed until we got to 65 knots, and then he told me exactly what to do. I was doing it all on my own. And then we took off, and he let me climb from ground level to 2,500 feet, and then we circled around. while I was flying, he was being our tour guide. So he was saying, if you look out the window, my cousin was a little bit apprehensive and maybe a little bit afraid in the back seat, letting a blind person take off and carry him around in a plane. But he seemed to really, really enjoy it, and he was filming from the back seat. And we were going all the way over Surrey and Camberley, and he was pointing out all of these landmarks and everything. And then, after half an hour, we come down to land. And again, he allowed me to take the controls. And it was effortless. It was such an amazing experience. Before we took off, he took me on a touch tour of the plane outside. So we went all the way around the plane, all the way around the wings. He let me touch the propeller. It wasn't spinning, so yeah, safety first. It was but it was a single prop plane, up a Warrior, and it was about a 4-seater. So we got in the plane, and he showed me around the dials. It was all LED lit, and it was all computerized. All of the dials, the speedometer, altitude, everything. It was all kind of like what you see on a smartphone. It was such a good experience. And yeah, we did film a lot of it, and I wanted to share some of that film with you this evening, but unfortunately the microphone wasn't connected to the GoPro. So although the footage, the visual footage was really good, there was no audio. So unfortunately, I've had to explain my experience to you. But if anyone wants to do one of these experiences, don't let your disability get in the way or be a barrier. I've done some amazing things without sight, and as my sight has been failing, and I will continue to do amazing things to inspire and amaze not only the community, but also my family and friends. They all think that I am extremely crazy, and why I'm still doing these things at 42. But I just thought to myself, well, I've got nothing to lose. I'm losing my sight naturally, so I might as well just do as much as I possibly can with my remaining sight, and just enjoy life. And that's exactly what AbleNet have set out to do. So thank you very, very much to Paul for sharing his story. And has anybody got any questions for either myself or Paul?
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, Colin. All right, Colin.
Hi. Do you do the driving experience in Scotland?
No, the furthest north we go, because we take the track ourselves, you see, so it's just for us. The furthest north we get is York.
Because we've got Knock Hill up here, but obviously
yeah,
willing to play ball at the moment. So
yeah, it's the cost of the track as well, you see. So because we pay for the whole track. I mean, there's some that I think Tockwith is £3,000 just short of, and most of the other tracks or a lot of the other tracks, they're sort of 4,000 and 5,000, and certainly the ones in Scotland, we weren't getting much. And as well, you see, because all the transports, all the cars, one of our big supplier that will travel with us, they come from down South Wales way, sort of thing. So there's quite an expense added to there as well. It's something on the list, though. I must say, we are getting. In fact, I had a conversation with somebody today in Glasgow,
right,
and they're coming down to York, but we do want to sort of go further and further. Last year we only had one place, which was in Loughborough. Now we've got 4 places. So next year I probably think we'll probably have 6 or 7. But Scotland is definitely there. We get a lot of inquiries. Don't get me wrong, we do get a lot of inquiries from up there. I'm not sure. I don't know whereabouts in Scotland. I'm fairly beholden to the companies who drive these things daily. So and the pricing, and they just need to be a bit more, because we only obviously on an able-bodied track day, you'll have about 700 or 800 people driving. On our day, you'll have at most 80. So the cost is just prohibitive with some of these tracks, and that's why we don't do it.
Okay. Paul, Jack from Northern Line, can I butt in, please?
You can.
Well, Paul, so first of all, I call it, sorry, being in Northern Line, we're in a bit of a limb over here as well. So there's obviously nothing available on this side of the water. But I must just tell you, I actually did a track day last October with a company called speedofsight.org. Have you been in contact with them, Anglesey?
They're on our charity list. We contribute to them. John and they're from Bolton, yeah, John and Mike, yeah. So, but they're kit cars, aren't they? They do kit cars around.
The one I drove was actually a souped up sort of buggy, but it was a BMW. Did about 100 odd miles an hour roughly, and he did actually have other cars there as well. But I'm not. Well, you obviously know the company anyway. But
yes, yeah, know them well, and we do. We introduce people to them, So, but. Yeah, we do and know them well. And they can't take many people on a day, or as many people on a day as we would.
Yeah, well, I did it through courtesy of Blind Veterans UK. They had attacked me last October. Anyway, your own journey personally has been quite remarkable. Well done, and
thank you.
Congratulations for setting up the company. That's fantastic.
Thank you very much. Well, it needed doing, to be honest. It needed doing, but and we have. Because Northern Ireland isn't particularly positive, is it, with people with disabilities? So I hear it's we have a few people flying over to Prestwold on our track days there, and they say they really struggle with disabilities and visual impairments over there.
There's not much going over here. Yeah, thanks very much.
Pleasure.
And Mark, thanks for your experience as well. We all know you're quite mad, but that's good for you. Keep going.
Yeah. I'm living up to you, Jack. I still haven't done half as much as you have.
Well, I'm actually 80 now, and I still keep going.
Yeah, I know. I wish I would be able to do that. I wish I can still be going at 80 as much as you are. You know, you're a legend, and you're an inspiration yourself. So
we've got bungee jumping now, Mark. If you want to be our first bungee jumper.
You know what? Do I sound a bit big-headed if I said I've already done 2? Yeah, there's nothing that I'm frightened of. How high does your one go?
No idea. There's 2 actually. I think there's one at 600. There's one at 900, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'd be lying if I said.
I've only gone as high as 300 feet.
Right. So it's like jumping out of a bedroom window, then, really.
Yeah. So I'm always on a quest to up my ante and raise myself out of my own comfort level. So I've done one from 14 stories, and then I did one from 300 foot over a lake. So if I can do a higher one, my ambition is to do one either over a bridge or out of a hot air balloon. So I've got no fear. I have no fear whatsoever. So I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah, I'll check with the company, Mark. Sorry, I know it's a private conversation, isn't it? I apologise for everyone else, but I'll check about the height and.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Anyone got any other questions?
Yeah, hi, Paul. It's Nishad. You all right?
Hi, Nishad. Not so bad. How are you?
Do you remember me? I was there at the one in Oxford.
I absolutely do. I do. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I drove the Lamborghini and it was absolutely fantastic.
Yes, thank you. It was good fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was good to meet you and your family as well.
Yeah, it was very, very good. It was an excellent experience. Never experienced anything like that, and the driver was so helpful with all the instructions and everything. And I went for the double distance, so I went for the 6 mile track, and it was fantastic. Very, very worth going to. Definitely.
Oh, fabulous! I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's a great day, isn't it? It's a great day.
It is. It's a whole day. Yeah, it's a great day. Definitely.
Yeah. It's Rita here. Could I ask where are the current places that you do these experiences?
So whereabouts are you, Rita?
Well, I'm in Herefordshire, but I have a son in Norfolk, so who might also be interested.
The closer we've got there is Oxford, Bicester, near the shopping village.
Oh yes.
And Abingdon, which is on the other side from you. I think it's the other side of Oxford from you, which is Abingdon, which is the one we had that we were just talking about a minute ago. It's
right. Okay. All right. Yes. Thanks for that.
no problem.
Hi, Paul. This is Jonathan. Thank you for a brilliant explanation and very well done. From crutches to supercars sounds pretty good to me.
Thank you.
Where's your closest to London? Is that going to be Bicester as well?
Yeah, Bicester. Yeah, yes, Bicester and Abingdon. Depends on again which side of London you are.
Right in the middle of London.
Right in the middle. Yeah, Bicester and probably yourself.
Yeah. I've had the pleasure of jumping out of an aeroplane, but I haven't driven a car in about 31 years, I think.
Right.
So you never know, you might see me sometime.
Yes, well, it would be good to see you, Jonathan. It would be good to see it. We do, it's great experiences. It's great. They're great days.
Brilliant.
Great days.
Thank you. And Mark, well done on achieving one of your aims and dreams of flying an aeroplane.
Thank you very, very much. Speaking of dreams, it's something that we at Retina UK have been pondering for quite a while now. I will be sending out a follow-up email with a feedback form, or you can just reply directly to the email that we sent out. We are looking to create more experience days for our community, whether it be fundraising related, or we want you to experience your dreams, and we want to try and make that with the support of an amazing organisations like AbleNet to make that happen. If anybody is on tonight or listening to the audio recording that would love to do a driving experience, please get in touch with me. And the more people that we can get to do a driving experience, then what we will do is we will create one. Bicester is not very far from our head office, and nor is Oxford. And we may, with the support of Paul and his team, we could potentially be able to set something up perhaps for next year. If you're looking to, if you've got a milestone birthday, or you want to raise the vital funds that Retina UK need to compete, to continue our support services, to run these groups, to create more groups, and also our vital research support as well, then we can combine it with our fundraising team as a fundraiser where you get something out of it as well. That experience to get behind the wheel. I have never sat in the driver's seat of a car, driven a car. I've got in the pilot seat or a driver's seat. That to me is very bizarre. But all the people that have unfortunately lost their sight after they've had to, been able to legally drive, and they've had to give it up, that want to get in the driver's seat again. We really want to make this experience happen, and we want you to relive your dreams or make new ones. So please do give us feedback. If it's something that you want to do and we've got enough people that we can get to do it in one place, we'll definitely try and make it happen for you all. So yes, please pass on your feedback to us. Be much appreciated.
Yeah, we can certainly do something like that without a problem, and put your name to it, not a problem in the slightest. And we also do driving from the age of 10. So there's no necessity for a license anyway, but we can create sort of a working day or whatever, a fundraising day, sponsor, Retina UK Day. That's no problem in the slightest.
Yeah, we were thinking about doing, this kind of experience day followed by a barbecue or something like that. It's whatever you guys want. So if you've got any ideas, we can make it a special day for you, especially if you're celebrating a milestone birthday or an anniversary, or it's just something that you want to tick off your to-do list, that you've never done before. Then please speak to me or contact Paul directly, and we'll definitely make it happen, guys. It's what we want to do.
Cool.
Has anyone got any other questions, or would like to share if they've done any kind of experience days, or whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it, whether you recommend it?
Hi, Mark. You know what I'm going to say next, I think. Talking of drones.
You've done a lot as well, Lucy, haven't you? You're a bit of a daredevil.
Yeah, I've not done much driving. I must admit, I would love to drive a car. My dream, though, is to ride a motorbike again. Now, I've got RP, same as Mark, but I've got tunnel vision. I have got more vision than Mark at the moment. And I'm as certain as I can be that I can do it. I might not be particularly fast, but I definitely could do it. But it would mean going around a track on my own, obviously, is the issue. So I suppose I'm asking, what are the chances? And have you got any recommendations who I talk to about it?
Yeah. Are we looking at a two-wheel motorbike or a three?
Two, definitely two. Yeah.
So
if I'm going to do it.
I've really struggled on the motorbike front, primarily because there's no sort of day experiences. There's no companies that do day experiences, as you know.
Yeah, right.
We've found that there's a few smaller clubs that have been on to me to say we have small clubs and we could do a section of a day, and so we could add them all up and possibly do that way. One of our ambassadors, who I mentioned earlier, Nigel, that's flown a plane, he's visually impaired, and I think he's got the British land speed record for driving a motorbike.
Yeah, I know him. Well,
Nigel Lim is a good buddy of mine, Nigel. In fact, he's up at Tockwith on one of our drive days, which will be interesting for everyone up there. But so he's. But I'll have a chat with Nigel, because I know that Nigel's a proper motorbike. He's all over motorbikes, isn't he? So I'll have a chat with him. As I say, we do have part of my thing is trying to create an experience that's both disabled and visually impaired as well. Motorbikes has been the challenge. It's really one, and we do get a lot of people asking to do something like that. I think it might be worthwhile dropping me an email, Lucy, or contacting me or via Mark or whatever, and I'll have a chat with Nigel and see where we're going, and I'll dig out the other things. It's always been an interesting one, but it's been a lot of hard work to get to anything on the motorbike front, because we were looking at perhaps having park track day for supercars and then an hour or so for the motorbikes at the end of the day. And then it was getting the motorbike company up there that, so that sort of fell down a little bit. And when you're not talking about sort of a company, you're then talking about the whims of individuals. And if, for instance, somebody just can't be bothered on the day to drive up there, then they'll just not do it. And then we're all left hanging, sort of thing. One of our customers was promised a ride on a three-wheeler the other day on a track after one of our days, and the guy just didn't turn up. So, that's the problem. But yeah, I'm more than happy, and anyone, if you've got anything that we don't do either, we've already agreed it's somewhere and it's just not got done, or I'm more than happy to look into it. The motorbikes is an interesting one. It's massively a challenge for me to get it sorted. It'll get done. I know it'll get done. It's let's face it, we've got
that's good
people, driving supercars.
Mad enough to want to do it, to be honest. But well, I did at least ride before, so that's whereas it's a very long time since I've driven. So I just my eyes are as good as they're ever going to be right now, and I just would really like to give it a go. So thank you for that. That's really interesting.
No problem. I mean, supercars are easy because you're not going to fall over.
I
understand
people being a bit.
You can try sidecar, Lucy. Have Mark in the sidecar and you on the bike.
Oh yeah, he'd love that. Would you do that?
Only if it's super sidecar.
Paul, do you have much association with Brands Hatch at all? What are they like? Things like track days. Because we are quite close to Brands Hatch.
Rubbish. Yeah, rubbish. Really? Yeah, they're owned by Palmer Sport, or the company that owns Palmer Sport, and it's helmet only, which is just sort of, and it's a premium track, so their fees are, I think, something like 6,000 or 7,000 a day. but yeah, they weren't interested. Some of these people, and as I say, you know, I'm happy to keep picking up the phone to people and keep asking the same question until they say yes. But they've got a national thing about its headset, it's helmets only, and the problem being is because we do drives who are deaf as well, and people with mental impairments and things like that, and it just, you know, asking somebody to put if they've got cochlear implants on, they can't put a helmet on and things like that, and you know, so yeah, it's a good track, but yeah, they're not very good to deal with us, to be honest.
No, but Bicester and Oxford, they're not far from, and they're quite central. You know, Oxford, we've done it in about an hour and sort of 40 minutes from us. So, and it's a good track. My mum's done an experience day there as well, many moons ago. So it's a great track and it's a great experience day. So, you know, we've got a couple of options that are quite centrally located. So it's something that we can maybe look at. No promises for our spring national peer group. We could go take it on from online to on the track, maybe. If that's something that you guys are interested in, the more feedback we get, the more possibility we can make it happen.
Mark.
Yeah, sorry.
Jack again. You actually mentioned blind veterans. There's a guy called Billy Baxter, actually Mad Billy Baxter.
No relation.
Speed record in a motorbike, completely blind, 164.87 miles per hour. And as far as he's the fastest actually for a completely blind person solo. He's as mad as a hatter.
Oh, I wonder if he's a relation. It might be a distant cousin. I don't know. I don't know any other Baxters that are as mad as me, but it's nice to know there's more out there.
Mark, it's Jonathan again. I had an experience. It wasn't an experienced day, but I got to ride a snowmobile in Iceland.
Oh,
and
wow.
We kind of fudged it because my partner drove us going the one direction up to the very top of the glacier, and then we said to the guys, I was going to drive it going back. I hadn't told them about my eyes, and I said I'd go at the back, and so I did, and Annie guided me, and I drove the snowmobile. So that's probably not the way to do it anymore, but if you've ever got the opportunity to have an experience day on snowmobiles, it's an amazing amount of fun as well.
That is one thing that we don't see a lot over here. I've been to Iceland, but I didn't get the opportunity to do that. But that sounds pretty amazing and something to add to the list as well of things that you've had to go on. You know, so that's just the idea. Is just if there's something new that you want to have a ride on or a ride in, you know, then go for it. Is there any other questions? Because we're coming to time now. I'm just going to wrap up with a few bits and pieces that are going on from Retina UK. So has anyone else got any experiences they want to share, or any other questions for Paul or myself or about Retina UK?
Mark, it's Colin here. It might be an idea for you to do things like the velodrome. I've actually rode the velodrome in Glasgow on the back of a tandem. I know that they do certain days of the week. I think Wednesday where they do the stuff for the VIPs, but it's an excellent opportunity. When you get on that top ring and you drop, it's a real thrill. So
Rachel, our Manchester facilitator, has had a go on a tandem at the Manchester Velodrome. It's something that I would like to do, but I think it's been under renovation for quite a while now. I don't actually know whether it's back up and running yet, but it's one of the experiences that I'd love to do. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to get up to meet Rachel and the rest of their group. Hopefully this year, but whether I get a chance to have a go around on the track is going to be very tempting to be so close to it. But yeah, it's on my to-do list. It's ever growing. You keep giving me idea guides. Any other questions? No. Right, before we all depart, and I let you guys continue on the rest of your evening, just a couple of events that are coming up in regards to our peer support group network. We have, if anyone is joining us from Kent, please join Lucy and myself tomorrow at the Society Rooms in Maidstone from 11 AM. And also, if you are joining us from the Hampshire area, we are going to be at the Royal Victoria Country Park in Netley from 11 AM as well for a walk around their park and a spot of lunch. Moving into July, we've got our Wrexham peer group, which will be held online, and we have a lady from the RNIB talking about volunteering and some of the volunteering support that she does and managing as well. After that, on Thursday the 6th, is our Talking Tech. So if you're a techie and you want to talk about assistive tech and anything that can support you with your everyday well-being, whether that is physical, cognitive or spiritual, then please come and share your experiences, what you like to keep using to keep your mind sharp and active. And then moving on further into July, come and join us for our London peer group, which is going to be in person at Russell Square Gardens, where we're going to be having a picnic with the group as well. And that's on Sunday, the 23rd. Well, PM, I think it is. We will be meeting either at the Bloomsbury Fountain, or you can meet a representative of Retina UK from Russell West. I think that is everything peer group related. If anyone didn't get a chance to join us either online or in person for our professionals or annual conference, the recordings are now online and available to listen to on our website. I will include a link to both of them on our follow-up email that will include the audio recording of tonight's lead day. If anybody wants to know anything more about the services, you are new to our peer support network, or you want to create your own group somewhere in and around the UK, we do have a plethora of peer groups in Scotland. We have one in Belfast. We have one up in Wrexham. Soon we'll be joining, Wrexham will be our South Wales Cardiff group, which will be launching soon, as well as our Bristol and Bath Wiltshire group, which will be launching again later this year. But we've got one in London and Kent, West Midlands, East Midlands, West Yorkshire, and Manchester as well, not to mention Hampshire, which I've mentioned, and also Isle of Wight as well. I think there was probably a couple more that I haven't mentioned. Also, if you are up in the Newcastle area, please get in touch with Colin, who's joined us tonight. He runs the Northern Alliance group as well. And so that if you're around the area and you want to meet up with Colin for his group, then please, get in touch with me and I can forward you on Colin's information. Regarding our other services, we do have a befriending service. We have a wellbeing, Discover Wellbeing service as well, not to mention our helpline, which is 9:30 in the morning to 9:30 at night, and the telephone number for that is 0300 111 4000. That's 111 4000. And get in touch with myself through info@retinauk.org.uk, or you can just reply to my follow-up email and I'll be able to respond to that as well. So thank you very, very much, everybody. Has anyone got any very last questions or queries or experiences that you guys would like to share with us this evening? Otherwise, I'll let you guys get on with the rest of your evening.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you very, very much, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your evening. And we'll see you in September for our next meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks very
Mark.
much.
Take care now.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We hope you have enjoyed this recording. If you have any questions, queries, or wish to leave any feedback, then please leave it in the comments section below. Alternatively, you can send your inquiries to info@retinauk.org.uk. Contact us via the telephone on 01280 821 334 or call our helpline on 0300 111 4000, which is open Monday to Friday 9:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. If you would like to know more about our local peer groups, when your next meeting will be held, or if you wish to get involved in creating your own group, or would like to know more about our services that Retina UK provides, then please visit our information and support page on our website www.retinauk.org.uk and navigate to our local peer group page. Thanks again for listening. We hope to see you again soon. Take care and bye for now.